Morgan Franz.
Hi, Indrani.
It's so nice for you to chat with me today.
Yeah, of course. It's nice to be here.
Oh, excellent. You're a wonderful actress, just so you know.
Thank you.
Good, yeah, no, it's important to hear. Now I'm going to ask you, why acting? What took you to this place that you're at right now?
So I started off dancing, and that was kind of my way of breaking into like entertainment and that as a whole. And I started dancing when I was like 3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow.
For like 20 years.
Did you want to dance at 3, or was it something your parents were like, oh, let's get her into dance class?
Apparently, I don't know if this is true. This is what my mom told me. She caught me watching Barney one day, and I wanted to start because of Baby Bop.
Oh my God.
I wanted to start ballet. So she put me in ballet and tap. And then from there, I started like branching out into different styles of dance. Ended up moving to Vegas for a performing arts school. And we did a little bit of acting there. And I was like, okay, I really like this. Wanted to do more of it. Ended up booking a job on a cruise ship as a dancer. So I did that for about 2 years pre-COVID. And then right before COVID happened, I moved out to LA to pursue commercial dance. And I was like, okay, I'll take some acting classes just to help out with dance.
May as well be a triple threat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I've had singing experience, dancing experience. So I was like, let's add acting to it. And then it kind of slowly evolved into this thing where acting started filling a void that dance couldn't anymore. And I wasn't normally, like with dancers, expressing yourself through movement like is a way for you to escape, and it turned more into a job for me. So it wasn't something that was feeding my soul anymore. And while taking acting class, I really loved that I was able to actually say what I was feeling and express it through a different character. So it wasn't just me like fully, it was through different people, different experiences, but it still felt the same way. And I kind of got addicted to that feeling. And
so exciting.
Yeah. I'm also the type of person that I get bored easily, so I can't do the same thing forever.
Same
yeah. So it's nice when you're just bouncing from script to script because it's always something new, always a different experience, always a different person to like get to know.
So it ended up being, I'm hearing it's now more rewarding than dance was ever.
Yeah. Whenever I was dancing, it was kind of always to be like the best. I always had that perfectionism, which ballet definitely like drills into you.
Yes.
Always wanting to be perfect, always wanting to be the best in the room. And with acting, I felt like nobody is the best. Like,
yes,
there's no such thing as being the best, and it's kind of helped me let go of that perfectionism in a way, which is very relaxing, and it kind of gives me a breath of like fresh air, I guess.
I love that you just said that. It almost, what I'm hearing, it's almost like a meditative process, to relax.
Yeah.
Because being perfect is the worst thing for acting.
Yep. And when I first started taking acting class, that was kind of my goal, to be like, oh, I want the scene to go perfectly how I pictured it in my head.
Normal.
And whenever things would happen that were outside of what I'd pictured, it would throw me off. But now I'm like, I love it. Because I don't know, I love being on my toes, and I love being able to just be challenged in that sort of way, where you don't know what's coming, you don't know what to expect. And then whenever you truthfully like react to it or truthfully feel something come out, like there's no other feeling like that.
It's a high.
It is a high. It's very much a high. Yeah. Like, I can't explain it other than that.
You explained it beautifully.
Okay, good.
You really did. You really explained it beautifully for those who don't get it. you know, have never even thought about it. What advice would you give to somebody who is considering, thinking, I want to do acting. I might want to try the acting thing, but they're afraid. What are the things that you would advise them on and warn them about?
Yeah. I would definitely advise that. I feel like a lot of people think acting is easy, and it's like, oh, I can just read things off of a sheet, or I can just get angry, but it's way more than that. Like, the background work is absolutely essential when it comes to just building a character or reading a script or anything like that. You have to have that foundation. So that's definitely some big advice, is always having a foundation, and you have to really know that you love it, because if you're just like in it for money or fame, like that's more than likely not going to happen. And you also just have to be prepared to know that you're going to be working for a long time without fame and recognition and money, because you're working for exposure most of the time.
That's right.
But I mean, it's literally about how being on set makes you feel. Like, if you feel like you can't do any other job and feel satisfied, then acting is probably for you.
I think that is stellar advice that you just gave, because it really comes down to, it's like, you must love this. It can't be for ulterior motives, which, yes, of course, there's the benefits of fame and be rich, and you know, of course, we all have that as dreams, but if you don't have that love for it at the bottom of it all, it can really lead to a lot of suffering.
Yeah, I'm like, it is hard work. Like, being in this industry is not forgiving. So, like, if you don't absolutely love it, then you're probably going to fizzle out of it, or there's no point in being in it, because it is so much, it's so taxing on you, your financial stability, all of that stuff.
So true.
Yeah.
What has been your, can be anything, could be in class, could be on set, could be an audition, what has been to date your best day of acting? I know, it's a hard one. It doesn't have to be class, it can be anything. I know, you have to really kind of think.
I know, I'm like going through
Could be any of the numerous horror movies you've done, I don't know.
Yeah, there was one, we were filming one scene. I shot a film in Flagstaff, Arizona. It was a horror film. And we were filming one scene where we kind of like all came to the conclusion that we weren't going to get out of this alive. And one of the actors, this was not scripted at all, he threw a phone against a wall and it shattered, and just I think all of my expectations for that scene shattered as well. And I was literally just living off of adrenaline, like, oh my gosh, we actually aren't going to get out of here. And then a fight ended up breaking out between two of the actors, and I don't know, it felt like the most real thing in my life. And then the second they called cut, I was like, oh, that was a take. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not real. But that was a great feeling, just being so fully immersed in it that you completely forget the outside world and are just acting off of instinct.
Oh, that sounds like a spectacular day, and how great that actor did that.
Yeah.
You know, he really just, in the moment.
Yeah.
This is what feels right, working from your impulses, and it gives gifts to everybody else.
Yeah, it's a huge gift.
I love that. And what's been the worst day? I have to follow it with that.
Also, same.
Same production.
Same production. There was a scene towards the end where we were, or my character dies, and it was super like emotionally taxing, because obviously I knew I was gonna die, and I was like trying to prepare myself. I'm like, okay, this is the moment. And I had an emotional memory in my head of like a certain thing happening, but the director refused to get my close-up until the very last shot. So I was stuck in that feeling for a solid 5 hours.
Oh my God.
Of just this. It was horrible. I ended up leaving with like the worst headache.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to go to bed. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. But headphones were my best friend that day because that was the only thing that kept me in it.
It was your one escape.
Yeah. Yeah. And the AD was like, can you stay in it for a few more minutes? I'm like, sure. I'm like, I don't know what you're going to get afterwards.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. I'm like, it ended up being fine, but it was a lot. Like, it was a little too much.
Yeah. That's yeah. Talk about, hopefully that will be the worst case scenario.
I know. I'm like, if that's the worst.
Years down the line, it's like, oh, I got that done.
Yeah. I'm like, cool.
Last question. Ideally, where would you like to see your career, your acting career go? Either working with certain filmmaker or hitting certain goals for you. What would you like to see?
I've always wanted to do a biopic so bad. And people are always like, who? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know. Whenever I was blonde, I was like, Britney Spears, of course, if they make one of her. But I don't know, now that like being a redhead, I'm like, I don't know who I would see it being of, but I know that that's something that I want to do because I think it'd be cool to draw from like a real life person and all of those experiences. But yeah, I'd also love to work with Greta Gerwig.
Oh, she's a great filmmaker.
Yep. And like everything she touches, I love.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.